Anyways, based on those marginal effects, when we calculate the value of time and the penalty of transfer for multi-normal logic model is, multi-normal logic model is 5.5 minutes, whereas for random forest it is 3.1 minutes. Again, for wait time it is 1.5 minutes for multi-normal logic, whereas for random forest it is 0.7 minutes. So for each increase in number of transfers, the penalty is 5.5 minutes, or with each increase in wait time per unit wait time, the penalty is 1.5 minutes. So according to literature, the penalty effects of a transfer should be greater than 5 minutes of in-vehicle travel time. Moreover, the value of wait time is slightly larger than that of in-vehicle travel time. So based on the data that we have from the literature, we can conclude that the behavioral outputs of the logic models appear to be more reasonable than those of the random forest. But over here, there is a contradiction as well. There's another possibility. Maybe random forest is giving you the better results. Why? Because in literature, it is said that in-vehicle travel time. But in this particular research, the research that is focused in this study, they use total time. So total time would have a different impact as compared to in-vehicle travel time. Hence, the 5-minute restriction can be relaxed. Furthermore, proposed mobility on demand system is described as an app-based system that provides accurate real-time information. So this may lead to smaller penalties because you very well know when the bus will arrive. You can decrease your waiting time. You have very efficient transits. This, because it is a hypothetical system, so the individuals might be tempted to relax the penalties and hence move the actual ground truth to random forest. Anyways, conclusion of the study: random forest significantly outperforms logic models in prediction both at the individual level and the aggregate level. Mixed logic model underperforms the MNL model. That was strange for the researchers as well, because they thought, because since the data is panel data, they thought the mixed logic model would perform better as compared to multi-normal logic, but it was otherwise. Machine learning and logic models largely agree on variable importance in the direction of influence that each independent variable has on the choice outcome. Then partial dependence plots show that machine learning models can readily capture nonlinear associations, as I have already mentioned, that nonlinear associations behaviors are readily captured by machine learning algorithms, and those can then be translated into a better structure for your logic models. So random forest behavioral results are somewhat inconsistent with the existing literature. That is all from for the study. Coming towards the contradiction, well, I would say that I contradict the elasticities or the marginal effects. Why I would say that? Because even if you can see the patterns, they differ. They're not linear, they are non-linear. So you cannot calculate a single marginal effect. You cannot calculate a single elasticity. It is quite difficult. Yeah, you can calculate different marginal effects for different intervals, and that can be very easily achieved in machine learning. In fact, in random forest not only gives you the final classification, it can also give you the probabilities, class probabilities. So using the class probabilities, you can very easily check the effect of marginal change in any of the attributes. So we can use that to achieve the marginal effects, although that won't be a single value, that would be maybe different values for different intervals. So I suppose that is all. If you have any questions, I'm open to answer them.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you for your lecture. And I see there is a question on the slide from Chikalashi Sensei.
To use the development model to extrapolate the future situation from different data exploration. That's an issue. extrapolation is a shortcoming of machine learning algorithm, although that can be addressed somehow, but right now, the extrapolation, you cannot go outside the realm of the data. It is quite difficult for random forest for any machine learning, but when we go towards deep learning, neural networks, maybe it is possible.
Thank you very much. So is there any advanced method? I think it's very nice to know we can calculate marginal effects and elasticity for random forest or some decision tree models. But is there any advanced method to look at extrapolation? I mean, I understand the conventional method may not be possible, but is there any advanced method, like if we combine two data sources, one like from Tokyo, one from other cities, then maybe Tokyo will cover some much faster transport modes. So if those information can be transferred to other situations or something like that.
Yeah, about the transferability of the algorithm, yeah, it is possible. If you are taking data from different sources, so different behaviors are analyzed, you can converge all of that into a single algorithm and learn from these different and disassociated data sets and use that learned algorithm to forecast. But for random forest, I have gone through a lot of papers where it is said that extrapolation is a difficult thing. Although researchers do that, but it is questionable.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, how was the variable importance determined for MNL? Was it purely based on the coefficients and goodness of fit? For MNL, let me, because maybe I just skipped that. It is based on the goodness of fit. For example, what is it known as? This level of significance. So how significant is a certain variable? That is what variable importance is. So how significant is this against the probabilities? Like Jian said, simply the level of significance does not mean anything. We have to go for elasticities. So variable importance alone cannot give you any information, although it can give you information regarding random forest, but from MNL model, it cannot give you the entire picture. You have to go for elasticities and marginal effects. And ML techniques give out the importance of variables directly. What is the underlying function? Yeah, I will talk about the random forest. As I mentioned earlier, there was 37% of out-of-bake data. That out-of-bake data is used to calculate the error term. So there is Gini coefficient, and there's another method. I don't remember right now, but there's a Gini coefficient. So you can understand how this error is being calculated, how a particular variable is more important as compared to any other. But it is possible to look into that. It is possible to understand. Economic theory I cannot see the entire question, the last question.
That is the question from me. My point is that when we think about the applications of choice model for economic benefit evaluation, usually microeconomic theory requires the shape of utility function strictly, such as monotonicity or convexity. DCM can do, but what about random forest or some other machine learning model? Their predictability is high, but the model structure is too much nonlinear. In such case, maybe machine learning model cannot be applied to benefit evaluation.
Right, you're quite right about that, because since it is too fitting to the data, it incorporates the non-linearities, it can be difficult to adopt machine learning in every aspect. Although for prediction only, we can use machine learning, but you cannot apply machine learning in all the all aspects of what you require from the data. I haven't been through any algorithm recently which can adopt that, but more or less such algorithms would be developed sooner or later. That such algorithms would be developed, and we slowly but surely we are moving towards machine learning in each and every field.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
Any
for the
questions?
discussion. Is there any other questions? So if there is no questions, I think we can go on, and please